My brother and I unexpectedly got two talismans. One was God of Exams Possession. The other was God of Wealth Possession. My brother snatched the God of Wealth one first, so I could only choose the other. But who knew the talismans only lasted a year? A life of excessive luxury made my brother quickly become poor. But I always studied hard. After all, things learned through hard work never expire. Later, I won the National Science and Technology Award, and, together with a business genius, we created the Shenhua Group. With a net worth of over 100 billion, I became the richest man. Unexpectedly, my brother was resentful. At a family gathering, he caused me to trip and fall down the stairs. And when I was reborn, a week before we got the talismans, I found my brother had already chosen the God of Exams talisman. I knew he had been reborn too. After all, in our last life, he was scrambling to get the God of Wealth one. I smiled. I love studying, so having the God of Exams talisman would be like adding wings to a tiger. So I gladly accepted this talisman. Brother, this time it's my turn to become the top scorer in the college entrance exams, get into King Bay, and be a scientist admired by the world. You just wait to enjoy 1 year and then end up poor, right? Seeing this, I gave him a faint smile. Then let me help you have a bright future. After getting the God of Wealth talisman, I took the only 50 yuan of pocket money I had and went to a lottery station. I spent 20 yuan on 10 scratch-off tickets. I didn't win a huge prize, but I did scratch off 50,000 yuan. Then, I took that 50,000 to different lottery stations, spent 10,000 on a dozen different types of 100-fold fortune lottery tickets, and waited for tonight's draw. After buying the tickets, I bought a phone, computer, headphones, and other devices I didn't have yet. Then I went and had a good meal at Haidilao. In my past life, I was so obsessed with studying and research that I often forgot to eat, which led to gastritis developing into stomach cancer. The things I could eat were very few. I had enough money to buy all the Haidilao restaurants, barbecue joints, and skewer shops in the world, but my stomach couldn't handle a single meal of hot pot, barbecue, or skewers. After enjoying the delicious hot pot, I booked a king-sized room at a 5-star hotel. In my last life, to get a good night's sleep, I spent 4.2 million on a Hastings mattress, yet I still suffered from insomnia. I was afraid my mind wouldn't be sharp, afraid I couldn't develop new technology. I didn't dare take sleeping pills and could only suffer wide-eyed until dawn. Now, my sleep has finally returned to normal. I woke up to find that 15 hours had passed. I opened my phone to check the lottery results. After carefully checking, I had won a total of 1.5 million. This didn't make me rich overnight. But without the God of Wealth talisman, many people might not even win 10,000 yuan in their entire lifetime. I immediately went to the lottery center to claim the prize. After a 20% tax deduction, I was left with only 1.2 million. Unlike my blockhead brother, he didn't know how to make money grow money, so he couldn't maintain his wealth once the talisman expired. I had done scientific research and run a company. The knowledge from my previous life hadn't been erased. Money is just an external object. Only the knowledge and skills gained through hard work are yours for life. I turned on my computer, registered a securities account, and found the stock that was a legend in the market in my past life. Dongfang Technology. Right now, this startup stock was in its initial offering, and its price was at its lowest. According to my memory, in 1 week, this stock would go from its current 1 yuan per share to over 300 yuan per share in half a year. This was the fastest way I could make my money grow right now. I invested all 1.2 million into the stock, waiting for it to multiply 300-fold. In contrast, my brother, with the God of Exams talisman, didn't continue to study hard like I did in my last life. In class, he either slept or read magazines, and he never did his homework. Even the teacher couldn't help but scold him, but he retorted nonchalantly, "I'm a natural genius. I don't need to study so hard. Anyway, when the college entrance exam comes, it'll be the provincial top scorer for you to see." Seeing that he was daydreaming, the teacher gave up on him, but I continued to study hard. Although, in my last life, I was the provincial top scorer and went on to get a postdoctorate at Qingbei. I still didn't dare to take the college entrance exam lightly, but this time, my goal wasn't Qingbei, and I especially didn't want to walk the same path as last time. Since heaven let me be reborn, it's meaningless to repeat the same path. Besides, this time, I absolutely didn't want to meet Liu Ruyan, the tech genius boy, and the business genius girl. A powerful combination of love. To the world, it seemed as perfect as a myth. No one knew that every step I took was like walking barefoot on sharp knives, bleeding and in pain, yet I had to face the world with a smile. My brother had the God of Exams talisman. Although he was lazy and didn't study, it didn't affect his exam results. In fact, he always scored 1 point higher than me, ranking first in the school, praised by teachers and classmates. My brother's nose was so high, in the air. Whenever he saw me studying, he would mock me. "Brother, no matter how hard you study, you can't beat me." I advise you to stop studying and use your pathetic God of Wealth talisman. To buy lottery tickets, eat and drink well for a year, and then wait to become poor. I ignored him. My stocks had already increased 100-fold. The funds in my account reached over 100 million. I'm not interested in a lavish lifestyle. All I want is 3 meals a day of food I like and a good night's sleep. As for the lottery, I won't be buying any more tickets. I should leave the winning opportunities for others. The days passed. The college entrance exam was getting closer. When Dongfang Technology's stock price reached 300 yuan per share, I quickly sold it all. The funds in my account accumulated to over 400 million. Of course, I wouldn't let it sit idle. Relying on my memory, I invested in several potential stocks to let them continue to grow. My brother, with his handsome face and genius boy persona, quickly became famous online. By sharing his knowledge, he earned about 2 million. But he didn't learn his lesson from the last life and never thought about putting effort into improving his own abilities. Brother, guess who I met? My brother walked into my room, looking smug. I was busy calculating some research data and couldn't be bothered to look up. Don't know, and not interested. You'll be interested once I say her name. It's Liu Ruyan, the business genius girl. My brother said this while looking at me with great interest. In the last life, everything you had will be mine. I'm so happy. I pretended not to understand him. I don't know what you're talking about. What last life? This life. I don't remember any last life. Seeing this, my brother looked at me doubtfully. You weren't reborn? Reborn? Have you been reading too many novels and gone silly? I deliberately frowned and reached out to touch his forehead. My brother pushed my hand away and patted my shoulder, saying with some disappointment, well, that's no fun. I was hoping you'd watch as I take everything from your last life, including Liu Ruyan, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, in this life, you can't beat me no matter what. King Bei is mine, Liu Ruyan is mine, and being a CEO is also mine. As for you, as your younger brother, I'll kindly advise you to buy a few more lottery tickets so you don't end up poor and destitute in the future. My indifferent attitude made him feel snubbed. He slammed the door and left. However, my brother didn't plan to let me go. A moment later, he reappeared by my side with his phone, the screen, pointing right at me. On the video call was Liu Ruyan. Ruyan, let me introduce you. This is my handsome brother. Looking at Liu Ruyan on the screen, I felt a psychological aversion. Forget it. I should respect others' destiny. This is my brother's own choice. Whatever the outcome, let him bear it himself. I can't be bothered. Ruyan, what do you think of my brother? Not much. Liu Ruyan's reply made my brother's face light up instantly. He glanced at me smugly. See, brother? Ruyan says you're not much. I nodded in agreement. Yep. Hello, beautiful. My brother was a bit disappointed, then said into the video, he knows his place. He knows he can't compare to me in either studies or looks. Indeed, he can't compare to you. After all, geniuses are a minority in this world. That's right, and we happen to be 2 of them. The world will be ours. By then, my brother won't even be qualified to work for me. Ha ha ha. Hearing his smug and devilish laughter, I smiled and pushed him out. I locked the door to prevent him from disturbing me again. Just then, I received a friend request on my phone. Seeing the familiar profile picture and nickname, my blood ran cold. Why would Liu Ruyan add me on WeChat? I registered this account with a new phone after being reborn. I haven't even told my family, not even my brother. How could Liu Ruyan find me? This WeChat account? However, in this life, I don't want anything to do with her, so I clicked reject and blocked her to prevent another request from ruining my mood. A moment later, another friend request came in. Hello brother, I'm Liu Ruyan, your brother's friend. She actually used another WeChat account to add me. Seeing this WeChat message, my blood boiled even more. In my last life, I discovered this alternate WeChat account of hers. I secretly logged in, and what I saw completely shattered my worldview. In the eyes of the world, Liu Ruyan had a good family background, and her figure was one of a kind. She was also a business genius, admired by countless men. There was even a popular song online that went, if you're to marry, marry Liu Ruyan. And as her husband, I was naturally the object of envy and jealousy. They completely ignored that I was the winner of the country's highest science and technology award, ignored all my efforts, and only saw me as Liu Ruyan's husband. But only I knew that being Liu Ruyan's husband was not only unhappy, but also miserable, so miserable that I wouldn't want any relationship with her for all eternity. But why does she still haunt me like a ghost? To avoid being added by Liu Ruyan, I simply deleted my WeChat account. Bro, tomorrow is 5:20. Ruyan is coming to see me. My brother ran into my room again to show off. She said she's going to give me an unforgettable and romantic 5:20. I'm so excited, I responded coolly. However, my brother was dissatisfied with my cold reaction. He grabbed my shoulders and questioned, Are you jealous of me? I looked at him amusedly. If you want to think that. Wei, I can't stop you. But from now on, please don't mention Liu Ruyan in front of me. I don't want to know and I'm not interested. My brother's face turned angry, his eyes wide. Bro, I'm warning you. Don't covet things that don't belong to you. Besides, Ruyan looks down on you. I expressed my agreement by nodding. That's right. Fine. She looks up to you. She likes you. I wish you two to be locked together forever, never to be separated. My brother looked smug. Of course, in this life, I will become an enviable, divine couple with her. You just keep burying your head in your books. Maybe then, for my brother's sake, he'll find a good job for you. Hey, where does he get this confidence? Even with the god of exams talisman for his whole life, he could never walk the path I took in my last life. Scientific research isn't like an exam. You can't just figure it out instantly. However, I didn't expect that my brother would end up bringing Liu Ruyan home after all. Coming home from school that day, I pushed open my door and saw Liu Ruyan. I was so scared I flinched. Lin Fan. Hello. Liu Ruyan flashed her signature smile and waved at me. Most men would get hearts in their eyes seeing her like that. My heart was also pounding, but out of fear. Who are you? You. How can you just enter my room? I pretended not to know her, put on a straight face, and questioned her sternly. Liu Ruyan, your future wife. Liu Ruyan stood up, smiling sinisterly, like a venomous snake hiding in a dark corner. I shivered. So it wasn't just me and my brother who were reborn. She was too. No wonder she knew my WeChat. I forced myself to calm down and put on a look of disbelief. I said irritably, Liu Ruyan, your friend is my brother, not me. Please leave my room immediately. Lin Fan, stop pretending. I know you were reborn too. Otherwise, you wouldn't know this formula. Liu Ruyan picked up the draft paper from my desk and said with certainty. My face paled slightly, but I quickly calmed down. This is a university-level math course. It's perfectly normal for me to know some calculus. Liu Ruyan was a liberal arts student and knew basically nothing about university-level math. She couldn't tell whether my formula was calculus or research data. Just then, my brother appeared from nowhere and slapped me across the face, his eyes bloodshot, shouting hysterically. Bro, how could you treat my friend like this? What a pair of crazy people. I slapped him back without a second thought. Not everyone thinks shut smells good. Take your friend and get out of my room. Shut? You just called Ruyan shut? Lin Fan, is this a case of sour grapes? My brother's face darkened as he pulled Liu Ruyan over. Ruyan, my brother is a psycho. Don't mind him. As Liu Ruyan passed by me, I spat at her the saliva I had been wanting to let out. You're sick. Liu. Ruyan wiped the saliva from her face in annoyance, cursed, and followed my brother out of my room. After Liu Ruyan left, that foolish kid, my brother, came to show off to me again, flaunting the blue diamond watch Liu Ruyan gave him as a gift. Seeing this watch made me feel nauseous again. In my past life, Liu Ruyan also gave this watch to me and wouldn't let me take it off. Every day I saw this watch, I had the urge to chop off my own arm, but I didn't dare. I really couldn't fight against the demonic Liu Ruyan. I could only wear it like a shackle. This watch is worth at least $1 million. For Ruyan to be so generous, to give it to me shows how much she values me and wants to marry me. My brother was gloating, flashing the watch in front of me. Seeing my pale face, he thought I was envious and hateful, and glared at me fiercely, saying, Bro, you can't treat Ruyan like that anymore. In this life, Liu Ruyan will definitely be mine. I rolled my eyes at her. How many times do I have to repeat myself? I have no interest in Liu Ruyan. Please don't ever talk about her in front of me again. Soon, it was the day of the college entrance exam. I took the test with ease. Even if I couldn't be the provincial top scorer like in my last life, I should still be in the top 10. My brother also walked out of the exam hall full of confidence. He was immediately surrounded by reporters waiting outside and interviewed. Student Ling Zhou, are you confident about this college entrance exam? My brother answered confidently. Barring any surprises, I should be the provincial top scorer. After all, I'm a child prodigy. It's just a college entrance exam. If I don't get top score, how could I live up to the name prodigy? That's right, we're looking forward to the exam results. We hope we can produce a provincial top scorer. I hear Student Line also has an older brother. I wonder how his scores are. Can he compare with you? As if the reporter asked the most ridiculous question in the world, my brother laughed with a disdainful look. My brother? Although we're biological brothers, the two of us, whether in terms of looks or IQ, are very different. He's just a bookworm who crams. Seeing me pass by in my baggy school uniform, he grabbed me and presented me to the reporter's cameras. He was meticulously dressed, bright and handsome, confident and enthusiastic. I, on the other hand, was a lifeless-looking bookworm. Compared to him, the reporters all remarked on how different the two brothers were. They praised him to the high heavens. I didn't mind being his foil, even deliberately making myself look clumsy and dull. Once the media reports went online, my brother's number of fans soared again, reaching 8 million. He also marketed himself everywhere, doing live streams to earn traffic and money, making another few million. He became a little millionaire that everyone envied. He flaunted the money he earned in front of me, mocking me for having the god of wealth on my side, but not knowing how to use it, still looking poor. Of course, I wouldn't tell him that the funds I invested in the stock market had already doubled to 1.2 billion. Once it reaches 3 billion, that's when I'll make my big move. By then, even if there were 10 Liu Ruyans, I wouldn't have to be afraid. The highly anticipated college entrance exam results were out. Many reporters were already squatting outside our house, waiting to conduct interviews. After all, this genius had boasted he would take the provincial top score. So, whether he got it or not, it was a hot topic. As for me, fearing I'd attract trouble, I had already quietly hidden far away. Before the results were officially released, I received calls from the admissions offices of the two top universities, Qingbei, warmly inviting me to apply to their schools. They also made me very generous offers. These calls were similar to my last life, so I was sure I did well. I politely declined Qingbei's kind offer, stating I wanted to attend the National Defense University. With a heart full of patriotism, I wanted to serve the country. I had this dream in my last life, but I was always controlled by Liu Ruyan, becoming a tool for her personal desires, unable to help myself. In this life, I won't be fixated on the prestige of Qingbei University. I won't have any connection with Liu Ruyan anymore. I should be free. Finally, the college entrance exam scores were out. As before, not a point more or less, my brother's score was still 1 point higher than mine. My brother became the provincial top scorer. He publicly claimed that I got my scores because he tutored me. When people asked me, I answered the same way. He could have all the glory he wanted. I didn't care for it. My brother's genius persona was solidified, and his fans increased once again. When it was time to apply for college, my brother solemnly warned me, "Brother, I'm going to Qingbei. I hope you know your place. Don't go to the same school as me, lest my brilliance overshadows you." I smiled and replied, "Don't worry, I'm not interested in Qingbei. I'm applying to the National Defense University. That's for the best. But when you apply, you have to do it right in front of me, in case you go back on your word." I didn't mind. I applied in front of him. I chose biochemical and nuclear energy technology at the National Defense University. This was the major I studied in my last life, but I was forced to use it for commercial purposes and couldn't serve the country. Soon, my brother and Liu Ruyan announced their relationship with high-profile posts online. Both were admitted to Qingbei University early. The union of the genius boy and the business prodigy girl once again earned my brother a huge number of fans and traffic, his popularity skyrocketing, rivaling that of A-list celebrity idols. Seeing that their early admission notices had arrived and mine hadn't, and I hadn't been contacted by the National Defense University for an interview, I vaguely felt something was wrong. I logged into the college application, enrollment, system, and was shocked to find that my only choice, the National Defense University, had been canceled. In its place was a very poor vocational college. My heart sank. I rushed out of my room and grabbed my brother, who was beaming with joy. "Lin Zhou, how dare you change my application?" My brother pushed me away nonchalantly. "I did change it, so what? You're my only brother. I don't want to hand you over to the country. And I don't want to be the only one shouldering the responsibility of taking care of our parents. Besides, you're only fit for a vocational college." I was so angry I slapped him hard across the face. "Then I'll just have to wait and see how worthy you are." Of course, I couldn't just let myself be unable to attend the National Defense University I had longed for. Only by going there could I truly escape Liu Ruyan. In my last life, I had dealings with the Chancellor of the National Defense University and had his contact information. I called the Chancellor and explained my situation. He told me to go to the capital for an interview. I immediately booked a flight and got on the plane. Arriving in the capital, I met with the Chancellor. After talking with me, the Chancellor immediately offered to make an exception and admit me. He also promised me a biochemical and nuclear energy team, as long as I could really fund the research myself. My stock assets had already reached 3 billion. Funding the research was no problem. What I needed was a platform and a talented team. However, seeing that I was going to enroll at the National Defense University, my brother asked in confusion, "How could you possibly be admitted to the National Defense University on my own merit?" I walked out the door with my suitcase. Before leaving, I turned back to remind him, "Our good luck charms are about to expire. Qingbei will have an entrance exam to test abilities. Don't let your true colors show then." A trace of panic appeared on my brother's face, but he quickly composed himself. He said nonchalantly, "I've already been admitted. I don't believe they can kick me out. After all, I'm an internet celebrity with 10 million fans. I'm sure they wouldn't be so tactless. Whatever." I dragged my suitcase and headed straight for my dream, to contribute to the nation's defense. Just as I got off the plane, my phone rang. Seeing it was an unknown number, I thought it was from the National Defense University, but on the phone, I heard the alluring voice of Liu Ruyan. Lin Fan, I demand you withdraw from the National Defense University immediately, or it'll make your brother's life a living hell. In my last life, Liu Ruyan also used my brother's life to threaten me. Back then, I cherished our brotherly bond and let him become my weakness, but in this life, he tried to one-up me at every turn. He even tampered with my application, using up the last bit of family affection I had for him. I will no longer care about his life or death, especially if it means getting involved with Liu Ruyan. I couldn't be bothered. I didn't say another word to Liu Ruyan. I just hung up, blocked her number, and turned off my phone. Arriving at the school to register, the chancellor called me to his office and handed me a pile of complaint letters. These letters all accuse you of poor moral character and cheating on exams. What do you think? I knew these letters must be Liu Ruyan's doing. She knew that once I entered the National Defense University and became a state-protected researcher, she would never have a chance to contact me, control me, or exploit me. I didn't open the letters. Instead, I looked at the chancellor calmly. Chancellor, I have a clear conscience. If you doubt me, you can give me a probationary period. I specifically recruited you. I believe in you. I hope you can contribute to our national defense. We really need talent like you. The chancellor patted my shoulder and smiled, gesturing towards the outside. I turned to look at the doorway and saw the face that had haunted my dreams for 2 lifetimes. My little heart was pounding. Bai Ningbing, the little girl from my family. The chancellor pointed at her and introduced her to me. She wants to join your team. See if you want her. Yes, I do. I nodded excitedly without a second thought. I was so insistent on entering the National Defense University, not only to contribute to the country's defense, but also for Bai Ningbing. I wanted to work with her and live with her. Thank you, Junior Lin. Please take care of me in the future. Bai Ningbing extended her hand to me. I nervously took her hand. Just as I was about to pull my hand back, she suddenly squeezed it tightly, her eyes shining with excitement as she looked at me. Lin Fan, I've waited for you for so long. I looked at her in surprise. You know me? I've known you for a long time, so long it feels like a lifetime. Bai Ningbing looked at me deeply, a meaningful glint in her eyes. I understood. She was also reborn. I had always thought my feelings for her were just a one-sided crush. I never expected she was also waiting for me. My eyes reddened slightly. I lowered my head and looked at her affectionately. Then, can I hug you? Bai Ningbing opened her arms and stepped into my embrace. Feeling her heart pounding, I felt like I was in a dream I never wanted to wake up from. Soon, Bai Ningbing and I established a research team. Based on our memories from our past lives, we recruited talented individuals who were still young now but would achieve great things in the future. The research funds were my own, so I could use them freely. Every project in our team proceeded very well, achieving one research breakthrough after another, surpassing the rest of the world and greatly enhancing our country's defense capabilities, making Western countries, led by Country M, wary. It's said that the military of Country M has put a high price on my head, but no one can find me or knows my true identity. From the moment I entered National Defense Research, I was no longer myself, but codename Dura1 instead. Bai Ningbing and I were highly compatible, both mentally and in our research. We didn't let work get in the way of our relationship, nor our relationship get in the way of our work. Being with the person you love, doing what you love to do, is truly blissful. As for the nightmare Liu Ruyan brought me, it was completely over. I was no longer a protected person she could have any connection with. As for how my brother and she are doing now, I don't care at all. However, I'm not someone who just buries his head in research without caring about the world. Occasionally, I'd see news about them online. In this life, without me, Liu Ruyan did not become a true business tycoon. She still opened a company, but it went bankrupt within half a year. She was also sentenced to 15 years in prison for illegal fundraising. As for my brother Lin Zhou, because the god of exams charm expired, he was caught cheating on the entrance exam at Qingbei University and was expelled. During his live streams, he couldn't even solve simple elementary school math problems or fully read a junior high English article. His genius boy persona collapsed instantly. Fans unsubscribed one after another, and he was banned from the internet. Just like in my last life, he became poor and destitute again, which led to a mental breakdown. People often filmed his condition and posted it online. He would ask everyone he met, "Why is it that no matter what my brother chooses, he can soar? Why does everything I choose turn into misfortune?" No passerby answered him, but I wanted to tell him, what you choose isn't important. What's important is hard work. Only things earned through hard work can never disappear.